Good morning, everybody. Welcome. It's a brand new week racing coming from Kenilworth, and it's a good morning from myself, Neil Andrews, and Raheel Radhakrishna. And we, first of all, want to thank him for coming on board because my Cape Town team are busy with various different things. But what a good stand-in, because the breaking news, which I'm sure he doesn't mind me telling everybody, is that Raheel actually yesterday won the Hollywood Bets Punters competition, Raheel, with 8 winners.
Yeah, surprisingly, I was a bit surprised that I've actually got 8 winners yesterday, but the card didn't seem too difficult. So I mean, I'm glad that I managed to finish on top.
Well, I'm glad as well. It's the only reason I went to grab a hat, because I thought, well, I've got to look like you, because you're the man in form. And obviously that was KwaZulu-Natal. It was Greyville yesterday, but I reached out to Raheel. I said, well, you're probably in better form than I am, so have a go at the Cape Town card. And he spent all of last night and probably a few moments this morning having a look at today's Kenilworth racing. Not particularly big fields. We're going to get straight into it, but Raheel, congratulations. Have they sent you the cash yet? Have you got the cash? Unfortunately, you didn't get the 10 winners.
Unfortunately not. I mean, I was a bit stupid not to get the one in the second race for Paul Peter. And then obviously I didn't get the one with Walton Hall. So, I mean, you know what, you take what you get. You can't be ungrateful at the same time. So, especially in KZN, you know,
yes,
it's tough out there. It's not easy. And to get 8 winners, I feel that's pretty decent.
Right. Well, I don't want to delve into his private punting business because that was a public competition, but I'm sure he got a share of that pick 6. Let's have a look at his reaction there. Yeah, we won't go into details. Well done. So Raheel in good form. Let's get into the first race. It's off at 12:55, and it's the first leg of the bipot. It's the Welcome to Cape Racing Juvenile Plate. And as I say, not particularly big fields today. So, Raheel, it is the bipod play, the first leg. What are you going to do in the first? Because some nice horses, actually. If you look at African Rain and Barcelona, 2 good horses.
Yes, certainly, I agree with you. And I think that it could be a 2-horse race between the 2 Candace Bass-Robertson horses. But slight preference for African Rain, who has his second run after a break. And if you have a look at his form, on his second run, after his debut run, he won. So I think that holds him in good stead. And obviously he races after he had a break, unlike Barcelona, who has his 5th run in a row. So African Rain could be the one to follow. And then there's obviously Intrepid for Justin Snaith, who separated the 2 last time out when he finished 3rd. But I think that he may have to settle for finishing behind him this time. So I'm going to go with African Rain to beat Barcelona, and then Intrepid. And then for 4th, you could pretty much include all of 4, 6, and 7. But for the bipot, I would be happy to bank the 1-horse African Rain.
Okay, African Rain, yeah, banker in the first race. I think you're probably right. There's obvious form there, 1, 2, 3. For me, the interesting horse for trifectas and quartets might be number 4, Master of Time. Quite like the booking of Craig Zaki, and quite like that form, actually. He's only carrying 57 kilograms, which I think might make him competitive in the first. But I think bipod-wise, we should be okay with the 1 and the 2. Let's move on to the second race, and this is off at 1:30, 13:30. You just check for scratchings. So I want to bring you up to date with those. I will check again during the course as we go, just to confirm in the first race, number 5, Sir Talon was scratched. So race 1, number 5. And actually, just to flag out, the reason Eric Sands is given for the scratching of his horses today is suspected stable virus. So just let's keep an eye on that. Hopefully he hasn't got a virus, but he suspects that he might. Right, on to race 2. No changes here. A juvenile plate for fillies. Raheel, what did you like?
I quite liked, I think it's a 2-horse race again between the Justin Snaith horse and Candace Bass-Robertson horse here. I'm not sure who I'm leaning towards. So from a bipod perspective, I would put both in. Because, I mean, if you look at the 1-horse, Bye Bye Bombshell, she was slow on debut and she ended up, just getting there to win. So, I mean, there's lots of improvement that could come from her. And then if you have a look at Santa Maria, The form line of a first run is pretty decent with three winners and a second from there. So you gotta respect her, and obviously there was good support last time out when she won on debut. So I mean second run after. So you have to respect her as well. And then the 7-horse Royal Oasis, who has some pretty strong form lines. If you have a look at he ran in that Cape race where he finished ninth behind Monias, and there's been quite a few winners from that form line as well. So that's a horse you got to chuck in. And trifectas and quartets, you could include others, but I think the 1 and the 2 horse should fight it out for the win.
Yeah, again, you pointed out that form line that I myself was looking at, the Munir form line, which has worked out pretty well. And if the one in the first run's okay, then maybe number 7 Royal Oasis, as you say, will do the same in the second. But for the bipod point of view, Raheel can't separate the 1 and the 2. Maybe he'll double up there. Interesting race. We'll watch the money, if there is any money for the first timers. There's a Canamere trained Duke of Marmalade, number 4 Lily of Orange. That's out of a trippy mare who's certainly doing the business. I was talking about that at Turffontein on the weekend, that the trippy as a broodmare sire has already caught a few eyes, not least of all mine. Let's move on to the third race, the Kilowatt Pinnacle Stakes. Now here, number 3 Driving Miss Daisy is scratched. Same story as the earlier scratching, suspected stable virus. The blinkers have come off number 8, Liberty Hall. So those are your changes. Pinnacle Stakes, probably Driving Miss Daisy at her best form might have been competitive here. But does it leave us with a 1-horse race?
I certainly think so. I think Hello Winter Hello could be hard to beat. And if you just look at her last run behind Rio Corrari, and we saw what Rio Corrari did on Saturday in that computer form sprint. So I certainly feel that she should be hard to beat, and I think that she could be a banker in everything, bipod, PA, and pick 6.
Yeah, absolutely. Even on the Celtic Sea run, got pretty young thing beaten, so we don't need to overthink that, I guess. And number 6, Hello Winter Hello, is going to be the banker for Raheel in that race. So I told you we'll keep it short and sweet, and that we have done there. Let's move on to race 4. Again, changes, 2 scratching, so there's only 4 horses left in this, what was supposed to be a 6-horse field. Race 4 is a maiden handicap, make a note, handicap. Number 3, Life on Mars is scratched, and number 6, Secret Lizard is scratched. Right, Raheel, 4-horse race. I mean, notoriously in Cape Town, they don't go that quickly anyway. They call them sometimes the Cape Crawl. And with only 4 horses, sure, I don't know where the pace is going to come from. It'll probably be set by Picture the Moment himself.
Yeah, I certainly agree, because I mean, Life of Mars is out the race, so Picture the Moment most likely to go up front and then obviously kick on from there. And I think he should be hard to beat in the 4-horse race. I thought that Life of Mars could be a possible danger, as he likes to run from up there, and with only 54.5, he would have had a good chance. But now that he's scratched, I feel that it's a 1-horse race. I can't see anything actually beating the favorite here. So I think this could be another bank on the card here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you've got to look for spooks and then try and believe that maybe the pace of the race could unsettle or unnerve or undermine Picture the Moment, but hard to see. Nico would enjoy this. Nico and Daryl will enjoy the name of that horse, because they always like to look up and picture the moment. They try to work out the running of the race and who gets a toe in and so forth. So if Nico was on here, definitely be picturing the moment. Right, on to race 5. So 2 back-to-back bankers, says Raheel, in races 3 and 4. Race 5 is a 80 handicap, small field again, or relatively small field. 7 horses go to the post. And what about here? Because this is a 80 handicap. What did you make of that?
I don't quite like this race, to be honest with you. It's 80 handicap, and I know that Bernie looks a horse to beat on form, but in saying that, this horse hasn't won in over 480 days. So I'm not sure how much of confidence he would have. And also, if you look at the recent maiden winner, West Coast Wonder, I was hoping that Life of Mars would run in the previous and, maybe do
Yeah.
something to that form line. But if you look at it, this horse just went up 2 points for that win and carries 53.5 here. And he's most likely going to set the pace. I mean, he could follow Moonrock, who's a speedy sort, and then he could possibly challenge for the win here. But I don't really like this race, as if you look beyond Bernie and that horse West Coast Wonder, who's a recent maiden winner, there's others here with chances. I mean, from a form perspective, not a lot jump off the page to you, but I think you gotta look deeper than that and possibly even go field in this race here. That's what I would personally do. I'd include the field here, just in case there's an odd result here.
Yeah, I like a little bit of the one horse actually by a process of elimination, Spiritual Wind. I know that he's a 3-year-old and he's got to carry 60.5, but he's got some improvement, I believe. I don't think those last 2 runs are necessarily his ability. He did run in the Ready to Run Cup and he was quite well drawn, and he went to the pretty handy. His stable companion won the race, Seeking the Stars, but we know how good he's proven to be, and he ran another good race on the weekend. And that last run was in a merit rated 90. So I'm thinking that back in a merit rated 80, he might be competitive, particularly with, as you say, not much form around. But although he's 6th, Bernie, I mean, this is an opportunity for him to get his 5th win, really, isn't it? It's a bit thin on the ground. So for me, in the bipod, I'm going to take my chances. I respect the 3, by the way, but I'm going to take my chances with 1 and 2. What would you do? What would you do in the exotics, the PA and the bipod, and then what would you do? Go a bit wider, even.
For the PA especially, I'd go with just Bernie and West Coast Wonder, and for bipod, I'd probably include the one for Spiritual Wind, as you say. His 2 previous runs have been in some good, has kept some good company. So I'd throw in the 1 as well as the 4 horse Moonrock. So
Yeah,
those 4 in the bipod for me.
Quick. You'll certainly get a run for your money, because Moonrock will be in front of the 400 and in front of the 300 and probably still in front of the 200. So you'll be able to shout him to keep going. Okay, let's move on to the 6th race. Richard Faree, by the way, rides number 7, West Coast Wonder. You're looking at Richard Faree. He's got to claim, I should say, he just got to carry a 0.5 kilogram overweight, but I'm sure he'll fancy his chances with West Coast Wonder with only 53.5 on his back. Should be an interesting race. Right, race 6 is a merit-rated 74 fillies and mares over 2,000 meters. Let me just check if there's scratchings. No changes in that race at this stage. Remember that Raheel and I are doing this very early on Monday morning. So before you put your bets on, just check updated scratchings or changes. But race 6 is over 2,000 meters. What did you like here?
I thought this was an interesting race here. This 74 fillies and mares handicap. I think there's 4 horses here with chances. I'm gonna lead towards number 4, Halloween, for Brett Crawford and Callan Murray. See, the source just loved the step up to the 1800 when she had won her maiden. I mean, it was a surprise victory considering the odds that she went off at, but she did run on well late and she got up. And if you look at her 2 post maiden runs, they've been good runs. And she receives a bit of weight from the 2 horse Helen's Blush, so it should get close between the 2 of them. I'm obviously going to go for Helen's Blush for 2nd. If you have a look at her last run, she ran behind Really Royal, so that was a competitive field. She set the pace on that occasion, and she just tied herself out. So I think with Grant Vernicat up in the saddle, and if you have a look at it, when he rode for the first time, he ran behind Halloween.
Yeah.
And so maybe he's hoping to turn that around this time to possibly beat Halloween. But I think those 2 could fight it out. As I said, I think it's a 4-horse race, so you have to respect number 1, Fane Boss, who has raced against a bit harder than this. Yeah. And I don't think that carrying 60 would be an issue because she doesn't have to give a lot of weight to her main rival. So, and she runs on pretty well. So if there's a good pace here, she could be the one to be on, turning for home. And then obviously you have to respect the Justin Snaith and Richard Puri combination on Regina Isabella. She has had some really good post maiden runs, and she likes the course with one win and one third at Kenilworth. So gotta respect her. So
Yeah,
it's
I
those
mean,
four for me.
when you start chatting, for me, I think you've summed it up nicely. However, what I will say is that, it's such a tight little race card today. And if someone had to come and say to me, where's the open race? Where could you get an upset? I would say it's this race. Although, as you say, Halloween and Helen's Blush and the 1 and the 3 have all got form, and they have. I'm just looking, that there might be a surprise here. Number 5, Divas Express. I don't know whether she's got the cheek pieces on last time, and it didn't really work for her, so they've taken them off. But I like the fact that she's a 4-year-old daughter of Trippy. And even the Mike Robinson horses towards the bottom, particularly number 8, Luna Tunes. Some people might say I should be called Looney Tunes. But those last 2 runs, I think, were all wrong. And Robert Carty gets back on board, and he's actually got a very good record on Luna Tunes. He's only ridden her 4 times, and he hasn't finished out of the quartet. So I just think I'm going to go wide in this race, which if you're going to banker earlier on and you have those 2 bankers, you can afford to go wide here.
Yeah, certainly. And I think you made a good point for Luna Tunes. I think she's definitely one you could throw in. As you say, you could get the results in this race despite they being form runners here. There could be an upset here. And if you look at Luna Tunes, carries only 55.5, so that's a good weight. And she has run, she's placed over the course, so that's encouraging.
Yeah, okay. So I think we both agree it's an interesting race, competitive race. We'll see how that goes. Let's move on to race 7, where the Snaith Yard have quite a strong hand. They've got number 2, Kariba Hall, with Grand Fanico gone. He's got very consistent form. He hasn't missed a place since his maiden victory, but he's got to give 2 kilograms to his stable companion, One Way Traffic, who is a son of Dynasty, and Richard Faree rides. And Justin and Jonathan Snaith have been quite open that they like this horse today. So that's got to be factored in. And then you've got number 1, Gallic Tribe, who's not without a shout either, because that was closing very late and strongly last time, the son of Vercingetorix. And that's actually tipped first by the computer form by Brendan Galliard. So what does Raheel say about this race?
I like the other one of the Justin Snaith horse in Kariba Hall. I think that this horse should go very, very close to winning today. If you look at his course and distance form, he's finished 2nd and 3rd. Last time out, he just stayed on, as it says here. But if you look at the previous run, he ran on best of the rest behind Destin. And it's not like he's been friendless in the market. He's been supported on many occasions after his first 2 runs. So you have to respect him, and I feel that he should beat his stable companion One Way Traffic. For second, I went with the Top Rank, who only carries 53.5, with Keegan LaMelo having to carry an extra half there, so 53.5. Horse is drawn well, goes over the 1800. I don't think the distance would be an issue, and this horse does run on well, so is another that you could throw in at some nice value at 8-1. Then there's also the Gallic Tribe, as you said, who ran on pretty well last time out. So gotta respect that. And then the 3-horse One Way Traffic. But for me, it's Kariba Hall in this race. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So Raheel does his own thing, as you know, which is why we like him. As he studies his own form, he doesn't necessarily listen to other people and hear graft and where the dogs are barking. So he's going against where the dogs are barking, because all I've heard is people going on about one-way traffic. In fact, they say it's going to be one-way traffic. But Raheel, you didn't mention it in your first 3 there, so you're going to go a bit wide, eh?
Yeah, certainly. I think it's got to show a bit of improvement to get that win, to get that second win. So I think Kariba Hall and Gaelic Tribe, as well as Top Rank, have that experience under the belt, so they could be better off in this race here.
Okay, it should be an interesting race, that's for sure, because the 3 is the favourite, and the Yard are confident, but Real's saying it's not straightforward. Race 8. Let's move on to this. The last one, it's over a mile, and we've got a 9 race horses going to the post here, 9-horse field. This is a fillies and mares 90 handicap, so quite a nice type of filly running here. You've got Heaven's Embrace, for example, who's a 3-time winner, and she's rated at 90. And you've got a couple of other well-performed horses. Secret Deaths has already won 4 races. Raheel, what are you going to do in the last? I mean, if you're coming to the last leg of the pick 6, yesterday's pick 6, how many horses did you have in the last leg?
4 horses.
Did you get your best result, or what kind of result did you get?
It was certainly the best result, yes.
Well, exactly. That's why I asked. So maybe you want a few here in race 8. If you're coming to the last leg of today's Kenilworth pick 6, how many horses would you want in, and who would you want in?
I'd go maybe 4 or 5 horses here. But let me start with my first selection here of So Flawless for Grant van Niekerk and Andre Nalia. I think this filly is coming along the right way and running well. And if you have a look at her last run behind Helen's Blush, where she was just nabbed on the line. So obviously, if Helen's Blush does come out to win, then you got to respect So Flawless. And if you like the 1-horse Heaven's Embrace, who did run a much better race last time out when she finished second behind Marina, she has to carry top weight here. But in saying that, if you like her, you have to like the 4-horse Miss Smarty Pants, who does hold her at the weights. And Miss Smarty Pants could actually be the lurker in this race. I feel this horse has come down in the ratings nicely. She was once a 105, now an 86, so that's 19 points in the merit rating. And you got to give her some respect. She does run well up the course. She's drawn well, and she could be there. Then you have to also respect the 6-horse Lilac Sensation, who's just been in some really good form after coming back from a rest. And she was lucky. She was unlucky last time out to not win. She was inconvenienced at the 300. And she only went down a short head behind Miss Millstream, having to give her weight. So now that she's down 5 kgs, she could be a runner going over the 1600. And also the 7-horse Do Angels Cry runs well over the course and distance, carries a very light weight of only 53. You got to give that horse some respect. Obviously, she is held by Lilac Sensation on her last run, but she has been over the distance. Unlike Lilac Sensation, who hasn't, she tries it for the first time. So I think you got to give her respect. And only carrying 53, she could be another lurker in this race. And then, as you mentioned, Secret Depths. Surprisingly, this horse hasn't won over the course and distance. Has run 2 seconds, 3/3, and 3/4, but with no win over the course and distance, which is a bit surprising, as she is a really consistent sort, and Robert Carty gets on well with her for a second, a third, and 2/4. So she's definitely one to throw in as well. But a really interesting race to finish off.
So the 5 horses, I'm guessing you're going to be going 1 Heaven's Embrace, 2 Secret Deaths, 3 So Flawless is your first choice, 4 Miss Smarty Pants, who's had that merit rating drop, and 6 Lilac Sensation. Actually, I think it sounds like 6, because you won't be wanting to leave out Do Angels Cry either.
Yeah, I couldn't leave that fully out, especially with only 53 on her back, and she's proven over the course and distance. So I would definitely throw in. So as you say, yeah, 6 horses in this race.
Okay, I mean, you know what? If I'm playing, I'm going even wider. I'm going to put in the 5 as well. He's got the blinkers on first time. It's a Flower Alley. Not going to leave that out. I think the two open races personally are those fillies and mares handicapped. So I think it's quite catchable. Well, we always think it's catchable. That's why we play the pick six. But what do I know? Because I'm in the company of somebody who's tipped 8 winners at Greyville yesterday and caught the pick six. So, Riel, thanks very much. It looks like, I mean, you've got to be a bit careful because of the small fields, but it looks like tight competitive racing and we should have a bit of fun.
Yeah, it certainly does, and you could get one or two results, but in the later races. But as far as the first two races in the pick six is concerned, I'm happy with those two bankers there.
Okay, Raheel, thanks very much for stepping in. You'll probably be a very popular man now with all of your mates if you've tipped 8 winners at Greyville. So we'll stay in contact with you with the KwaZulu-Natal meetings as we do. But in the meantime, have a lovely day and thanks for joining us and giving us your opinion for Kenilworth today.
You too. Hope the viewers have a good day as well.
I'm sure they shall.